My name is Emily Hutchison, and I completed my fieldwork at Peak Power Sports Development in Calgary, Alberta. Peak Power is a strength and conditioning training facility that focuses a lot on Olympic lifting as well as fitness testing in order to provide athletes with optimized training plans. They also do a lot of work with injury prevention. During my placement, I was responsible for creating and leading warm-ups as well as administering fitness testing to over 40 firefighters through Rocky View Fire Department. I was also able to interpret the results from these fitness tests in order to give them corrective exercises to increase their mobility, stability, and cardiovascular fitness. Special project, I knew from the start that I wanted to do something that involved injury prevention for athletes. As a former player for the Cougar women's soccer team, I have been a part of an athletic lifestyle and experienced and witnessed how devastating an injury can be to an athlete's career. Anterior cruciate ligament injuries tend to be very common injuries in females and can cause athletes to be in recovery for at least a year. For my special project, I created an 8-week neuromuscular injury prevention program that athletes can participate in twice per week. The goal of this program is to help prevent ACL injuries and other injuries such as upper and lower cross syndrome by learning a solid foundation of movement patterns and skills. In this video, I've included pictures of the program I created as well as some of the hockey clients performing various exercises in the program. The program starts with an increase in heart rate, then goes into dynamic exercises, then mobility and stability, and then activation and neuroactivation. I started off researching existing neuromuscular programs such as the PEP program, FIFA 11, and Harmono Knee program that have been involved in many studies and have been shown to reduce rates of ACL injuries. The problem with these programs are that they do not progress at all. The program that I created is progressive and uses specific exercises to target risk of ACL injury, such as cueing people's jumps to make sure that they do not land with valgus knees. Some obstacles that I had when I was making the program were that I needed to make the program operational from someone's house and to use minimal equipment. My original goal for the program was to implement it during the jump program that Peak Power was starting. However, due to COVID, this program was unable to start, but I was still able to start coaching this program with 2 sets of hockey athletes throughout my fieldwork at Peak Power. I was able to focus on making sure that athletes were performing the exercises correctly. The program that I created will be beneficial for Peak Power after I am gone because it provides a great baseline for athletes and progressively gets harder to make sure that athletes have fundamental movement skills before moving on to harder activities. This project has helped me to meet my learning objectives because it was based off of research that I did about lower body injuries and ACL injuries in particular. And it helped me to achieve my learning objectives to create an injury prevention program. I learned a lot from this project, such as different exercises that can be used to correct issues that can cause injury, as well as how to identify movement patterns that put people at risk of injury, and the importance of making sure that athletes have a solid foundation before they go into lifting heavy. Even if they are strong, if they have issues with fundamental movements, they will most likely be injured in the end. I also learned to adapt quickly when coaching the program. There were some instances where I decided that prescribing repetitions would be better than timing the exercise, or I realized that I needed to change the exercises or put them in a different order to allow them to flow smoother. Overall, I think this project was successful and allowed me to meet my learning objectives as well as learn valuable skills for my future career.